Eric Scheidler here, Executive Director of the Pro-Life Action League. I'd like to thank Jim and Joni Lupus for the opportunity to offer a few words of tribute to my father, Joe Scheidler, the founder and National Director of the Pro-Life Action League, whom you're honoring this evening. And I thought I'd do that by looking at some of the signs here on the wall of my office in Aurora, Illinois, just a few blocks from one of the largest abortion clinics in the country run by Planned Parenthood. And I'll start with this sign right here, Stop Abortion Now. This is one of the most common pro-life signs you'll see, and it's my belief that my dad actually came up with this design, the idea of taking a stop sign and putting these words on it. And I think it really exemplifies the work of the Pro-Life Action League and what my father's mission has always been. We don't want to wait for the politicians to do the right thing, to get the courage to ban abortion. We don't want to wait for the media to tell the truth about abortion in a consistent way, or for the judges to reverse their bad decisions. We want to stop abortion now. And so we go out to the abortion facilities, we go to the places the abortionists work, we go to their homes, we go throughout the community, we go to city councils, we do everything we can to try to stop abortion now by shutting down abortion clinics, by appealing to women going into abortion clinics to change their minds, to come with us and get help and assistance, because we do love them and their babies. But we want to do that now, not just some future day that might come along. And that's always been Joe Scheidler's philosophy. Let's look at another sign here. Up in the corner, you'll see Obama equals abortion. That goes together with this Shame on Notre Dame sign. You may recall that in 2009, Barack Obama gave the commencement address at Notre Dame University in South Bend, Indiana. My dad's actually a graduate of Notre Dame and has battled with them many, many times over the years. When that scandal took place, most people focused on Notre Dame, this august Catholic institution honoring someone like Barack Obama. But my father saw it a different way, and he saw it that way immediately. In fact, the Pro-Life Action League was the very first organization to come out with a statement against this award at that graduation being given to Barack Obama. He saw this as an opportunity to connect Barack Obama with abortion. This was very early in his presidency, and he had said some somewhat moderate things in some of his memoirs about abortion, and really wanted not to be known as the abortion president. We weren't going to let him get away with that. And that was Joe Scheidler's insight. So he came up with this Obama equals abortion. That's a sign, that type of sign we've used again and again. We used to have a big, huge sign that said Clinton equals abortion with separate letters spelling out Clinton. The letters would be switched and you see Clinton and abortion. So that goes back to my father's legacy, and that was a very successful protest in 2009. Notre Dame went ahead with the award, but Obama was really tarnished with the radicalism of his support for abortion that people needed to know about. Right next to that, you see a sign that says No Bubble Zone, and that goes together with a sign a little farther down the wall here, if we can find it, called Protect Free Speech. These are signs that we came up with at the Pro-Life Action League to fight a bubble zone going up in the city of Chicago. We are still fighting that case in court right now. We're trying to get them shut down in federal court, that particular law that restricts the freedom of sidewalk councils in Chicago. It's a complicated law and a complicated story, and I won't go into it with too great of detail, but I think it needs to be noted that throughout all his career, my father has used these rights that we have as citizens of a free society to speak out against abortion. Not just used those rights, but defended them. The nation's foremost law firm defending pro-life activists, the Thomas More Society, was founded to protect my father, to defend him from a lawsuit called the National Organization for Women versus Scheidler. They ultimately prevailed in the Supreme Court, not once but twice. He was exonerated by ultimately a unanimous Supreme Court. And that exercise of freedom of speech has always been very central to his work, not just exercising it, but defending it for all Americans. So he's not just a great pro-life leader, he's a great American and someone responsible for keeping those rights alive. Now, I mentioned the Planned Parenthood facility here in Aurora, Illinois. These are signs we came up with for that battle. Planned Parenthood, bad for Aurora. That was really the first national level battle. Even though it was a local thing, it garnered a great deal of national attention. Even Cecile Richards, the CEO of Planned Parenthood, called Aurora ground zero in the battle over abortion. And I could never have achieved what we did, keeping Planned Parenthood from opening for several weeks, building up a huge community of support, launching several different lawsuits that are still going on to try to shut Planned Parenthood down in Aurora, Illinois. Could never have gotten any of that done without the constant wisdom and advice I received from my father, Joe Scheidler, at that time. So thanks a lot, Dad, for everything you did back in those days and through all of the days that we've worked together. Speaking of Dad, we've got a Dads for Life sign over here. Over here we have a Moms for Life sign. And these signs show how very local and personal we want our fight for the rights of these unborn children to be. We are a mainstream movement, even if many people don't know about us and much of the media ignores us. It's regular people who are out there at the abortion clinics, not some kind of weirdos. We're moms for life, we're dads for life, we're girls for life, we're boys for life, grandmas and grandpas for life, uncles and aunts for life. And those signs help to tell that story. Another part of the legacy of the Pro-Life Action League. Finally, I'd like to point to Stand Up for Religious Freedom. This was a sign that we came up with along with this one over here. Stop Obama's HHS mandate, the mandate that forced insurance companies and healthcare providers to provide free contraceptives, including abortion-inducing drugs, in their healthcare plans. You know, my father has always made a common sense and common ground argument against abortion with our culture. We can find common ground, civil rights, the right to life, the sort of compassion we ought to have for one another to make the case against abortion. But we also are inspired by religious faith. We're inspired by a belief that we have a responsibility to save these children, and we need to exercise that responsibility. Something like the HHS mandate makes it harder for us to do that. It forces us to contradict our own religious beliefs, and that's something we can never do. And Stand Up for Religious Freedom was that fight in 2012, led to a whole series of lawsuits and a great deal of press coverage. You still see this sign showing up in the news whenever there's a story related to one of these court cases still going on to fight this HHS mandate or other cases involving religious freedom. So that sign has made a real big impact. And it's through the use of effective signage, of the media, getting the media to tell our story for free, all these great principles championed by my dad, Joe Scheidler, and continuing to be central to the work of the Pro-Life Action League that has made these kinds of battles possible. All these battles that you see on all these different signs. I even talked about the Planned Parenthood defunding signs and baby part signs and all the other ones we've come up with over the years. But I thought these signs would be a good lens for thinking about some of the aspects of Joe Scheidler's legacy that you're honoring tonight. Again, it's been my great privilege to offer these remarks. Thank you to the Lupuses and to all of you for honoring Joe Scheidler. Dad, keep up the good work. It's been great working with you, and I'll see you when you get back home to Chicago. God bless, and God bless you all.